Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Tesla and some game-changing news that was just recently released lately, and this actually revolves around the new location for the latest Tesla Gigafactory, and as many of us know, the conversation has been around two locations as of lately, which is either Austin, Texas or Tulsa, Oklahoma. Those are really the two big locations that we've been looking at, that Tesla has been looking at, and are also interested in working with Tesla as well, especially Tulsa, Oklahoma. As we know, they really want Tesla moving over there. Personally, I'm just a bigger fan of Austin, Texas in terms of a location. I think that's much more beneficial to Tesla as a company than Oklahoma would be. I definitely think Tulsa needs Tesla a lot more than Tesla needs Tulsa. So with that being said, in terms of just bettering the future for Tesla as a company, my personal preference is obviously Austin, Texas. So as always, if you do appreciate content around Tesla news and me just talking about the company as a whole and recent news and also the stock as well, then please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. I greatly appreciate it, and it also helps with the YouTube algorithm, so feel free to help me out with that. But before we jump into this most recent article about this news piece regarding the new location, we'll go ahead and take a look at Tesla stock for today. It has actually been pretty volatile so far. It started out in the pre-market, at least in the positive, up until 9:30 a.m. when the normal market hour started. It was up at plus 1.69% and then dropped all the way down to minus 1.50% just 10 minutes later after the opening of the normal market. Then we just had so much volatility just over these recent hours up until 12 p.m. and it went almost near minus 4% at about lunchtime. And then since then we've seen like a rise upwards, almost back to baseline, and then once again at 136 right now. We're just a little below the baseline at minus 0.65%. So that's what Tesla stock is looking like today. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump over to this news article about this topic. And this is an article from CNET, and it states Tesla to nab $65 million in tax breaks if it builds the Cybertruck factory in Texas. And then underneath this, it states Travis County, Texas, where Tesla eyes a new Gigafactory, has approved the tax breaks. Now the EV maker needs to make its decision. So, as some of you are already familiar with this topic, I've mentioned it in other videos where I've broken down basically all of the tax breaks with the local schools and with Travis County as well. There was a recent proposal by Tesla of around $65 million in tax breaks that they filed with Travis County, and at this point it was just a matter of whether Travis County was going to accept it. Now, of course, Tesla could obviously decline this offer, but let's really think about this. How much sense does that make to come out with a full plan, file it, and then give it to them to see what their response is? And then when they finally agree with Tesla, why in the world would they deny that after all of that work and effort when they got what they were asking for? Yes, you could technically say they talked about it more and came up with some different ideas, or that they may just be waiting on what Tulsa, Oklahoma has to say. But honestly, this almost feels like a direct confirmation that the next factory will be in Austin, Texas, because they have pretty much accepted everything that Tesla has requested so far. So it is really looking great for Tesla. I mean, if you think about it, $65 million in tax breaks, it's exactly what they were asking for, and they have accepted it already. So that's definitely a big deal. And to me, in my opinion, this means that Tesla will most likely accept it, because if you get what you're asking for, you might as well take advantage of that and go ahead and accept it, because, you don't want to get too greedy and try to get more out of something when you got exactly what you were requesting. So with that being said, I do think that they will choose Austin, Texas for the Cybertruck Gigafactory. And then I think they've also discussed working on the Model Y as well there. But let's just get farther into this article. It states the battle for Tesla's second US-based vehicle manufacturing plant heated up Monday after Travis County, Texas approved a tax break worth $14.7 million if the electric car maker builds a new factory in the Austin area. Reuters reports that along with the $14.7 million, Austin's Del Valle School District also approved a $50 million tax break, which would cut Tesla's Tesla out of funding local schools. Combined, Tesla has just under $65 million in tax breaks on the table should it select Austin. It's not clear whether Austin is the frontrunner for the new facility. Tulsa, Oklahoma is reportedly a second finalist for the victory, which will primarily assemble the Tesla Cybertruck. This new facility will also handle Model Y production for the East Coast, according to CEO Elon Musk. Financial details surrounding a possible Oklahoma site haven't surfaced, which could suggest Austin is the leading candidate. Tesla did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the selection process. Tulsa has promised numerous little incentives, such as buying a fleet of Cybertrucks to use as police vehicles. The area even painted its famed golden driller statue with Musk's face and a giant red T in a bid to woo the automaker. According to the report, the new facility would create 5,000 new jobs and production could start as soon as later this year. So with that being said, it seems for this article that Tesla is much more looking at Austin, Texas, if they were able to meet the expectations and the requests that they had, compared to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where it seems there's a lot of interest from Tulsa, but there's not as much interest from Tesla. They haven't really sent a request on a specific property and tax breaks for that property as well, like they did with Austin, Texas. So it seems like Tesla is getting much more into the specifics with Austin than they are with Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yes, having your whole police force buying a lot of Tesla Cybertrucks, that would be some revenue, but honestly, that's something that could probably happen in Texas as well, especially if Elon Musk chooses Texas over Tulsa. There will probably be a lot of pride and appreciation for Tesla if they do choose Austin, so you could technically say the police even in Austin might choose Cybertrucks as well if Tesla does choose Austin, and in addition, on top of that, they'll also have the tax incentives as well. So not only will the local people in Austin appreciate Tesla choosing them out of every other location in the United States, which could lead to them buying more Cybertrucks for the police force and stuff like that, but they're also getting tax breaks as well. So I think you really get the best of both worlds with Austin, Texas, and I think there will likely be a lot less restrictions on Tesla in Austin, Texas compared to California, like in Fremont and maybe even Oklahoma. And yes, I do realize there are some issues with like vehicle deliveries and laws around that in Texas, but I think that's something that could be adapted, especially when Tesla is bringing so much jobs and really positive economic impact to that state as a whole. I think that they will be willing to work with Elon because they appreciate what he's bringing to the table for their state and for the city of Austin. So I think that's a hurdle that can be dealt with later on in a positive way. And like I said, I honestly just think that Austin, Texas has a lot more to offer to Tesla than some of these other areas like Tulsa, Oklahoma, or, you know, some of the places that we haven't even discussed that aren't even really on the table. So I think Austin, Texas is really a fantastic option for them. And I love the fact that they didn't take too much time to go ahead and approve this $65 million tax break. And that to me says that Austin, Texas and Travis County and the school system as well, they mean business and they appreciate what Elon Musk is trying to do. So to think about this, it could technically have been something that could have dragged on for months and months, maybe even a year. But this shows that they are ready to welcome Tesla and Elon Musk with open arms into their city and their state. And to me, as a Tesla investor and as a Tesla customer, I think that's awesome. And it makes me really want them to go to Austin, Texas even more because it shows that they mean business and they're willing to sacrifice some things such as giving tax breaks to Tesla because they know in the long term, Tesla can do a lot for their state and a lot for employees in the economy as well. So I'm really excited about this. I would love to go ahead and see Elon Musk and their board and Tesla just go ahead and accept this because, you know, it's what they were asking for, like I said. And if they're getting what they were asking for, then sometimes you just don't want to be too greedy and just go ahead and accept that, in my opinion, especially when both parties seem pretty happy with this deal right now. So I would love to see them go ahead and accept this. And honestly, I think it's really likely that they do. I think it's like a 90 to 95% chance that Tesla accepts this. For one thing, they're already looking at specific properties and options to buy specific properties, whereas I don't believe this is occurring in any of the other options like in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So it seems like even before like this rivalry between Tulsa and Austin, that Tesla was already looking pretty in-depth into the locations in Austin, Texas for a factory. It seems that they already have a place plotted out and ready to go if Austin were to approve this deal, and so far they've approved it and it seems like things are working out pretty well for them. So I do think that this deal will follow through in the future because as we know, there's so many other states and cities out there in the United States that would love to have Tesla. and would be willing to give up a deal like this with tax incentives and tax breaks for Tesla just to have them in their state and benefit the economy and the customers as well. So I'm really excited to see what happens with this. I'm honestly a big proponent of the next factory being in Austin, Texas. Like I said, in terms of me being an investor and how much it could benefit the company, I think that this is one of the best places that it could really benefit them in the future, and therefore drive the stock price up as well, and just help the company succeed, which is something that I care about also. I don't just care about the money. I want to see a great CEO and a great company succeed, and I love seeing innovation happening in a time where people just want to keep up with the status quo and not really change things. So I love to see that happening, especially with technology and vehicles, and I really think that Tesla has just revolutionized what people view a vehicle as. So I think that's awesome, and I'm really excited to see what happens with this in the future. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and end this video, and I just want to say, if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash that like button. It really helps me out, and it shows me that you all like to see these news videos about Tesla. It's honestly really fun for me to do because I'm going to be looking at Tesla news regardless, so I might as well share it with some individuals that aren't aware of it maybe, or some people that are aware of it but just want to have a little bit more discussion about it. So if you do appreciate this content, then please make sure to smash that like button, and also feel free to sign up to Robinhood and Webull with my referral link in the description below. If you sign up with those links, then you'll get some free stocks, which is always nice passive income, and it helps support the channel as well. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.